How do you feel about some of his cabinet appointments? Pretty solid. What do you think?
Yeah, it's chill, right? Chill, calm. There's nobody in there that's gonna, upend the system, but there's nobody in there that's gonna burn it down either. It's calm, competent, steady people. I mean, I'm not getting the sense of any sort of conservative ideologues, but there's also no firebrand Elizabeth Warren types. I mean, it's just people who are actually going to provide a steady hand, and that's what Joe Biden promised in the primary and in the general election. And I think that's what he's delivering here, which is just a steady hand and steady, competent governance. And I'm actually kind of interested in how the media is going to deal with this, because I saw there was I believe she was an NBC News reporter, complaining that Biden had spent 45 minutes introducing his new national security team and then didn't take any questions. Right? It's like there's 45 minutes of substance. Why aren't you tweeting about that? What, you're going to ask him? You're going to ask him, what do you think about Donald Trump not conceding?
Yeah.
How's that moving anything, right? Like,
right.
Either cover what he talks about. So it's gonna be interesting seeing the media sort of revert that old both sides isms and Biden won't talk to the media and he won't do this and that, when he'll be speaking very clearly through actual policy. Yeah. Crazy.
Right. Not used to that.
No.
Not used to that at all. So and like you said, no earth-shattering picks. I'm proud of the fact there's been a movement on social media against the speculation around Rahm Emanuel.
Oh God, please no.
Biden cannot do that.
Oh,
cannot. And he seems smart enough to know that. I'm sure there are enough people around him, like, because he doesn't bring you anything that's worse. And as you and I talked years ago, the architect of blue dogism, was Rahm Emanuel.
Oh, anti-immigrant sentiment. He fueled it.
Yeah.
He fueled it. Yeah. Every pick that Joe Biden has made so far has been non-controversial to all wings of the party. It's actually, it's a tricky tightrope to walk. I don't think anybody's particularly excited unless you're really into technocracy, right? It's like, if you just want a technocratic functioning government, then you're excited. But if anybody's an ideologue, either from the left or from even the middle, right? That's still an ideologue. Ideologues from the middle. Nobody's offended, right? These are all solid picks. They're not earth-shattering, but that's what people picked in the primary. I mean, this is what we got, and so far, I'm okay with this.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think things are pretty safe.
Yeah. Now, these are all people that are capable of doing some real progress administratively with the powers they already have. And that's, I think, when you start judging people. All right, now.
Yeah, and I've been talking about that in a couple of other segments. There are plenty of things that he and they can do. Like you said, even if we don't get the Senate, there are some things that can actually happen. When you have a competent group of people working, when you have people, all they do is tweet and get upset and run around and let Jared Kushner do anything, then you don't know how to actually implement policy from the White House and what have you. We also know that Trump is burrowing people in some of these agencies. But I think Biden's even been saying, well, they're going to root them all out. They're not going to let people just out there and continue to be a problem.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Trump did the same thing when he took office, right? It was a mass purge. But the difference is that he was purging careerists, right? People who were just, they knew how to do the job. They weren't political, ideological picks. So now we got to root out all hints of Trumpism. I mean, it's just a toxic culture, and it's a destructive culture. And obviously, you can't have them sabotaging the Biden administration from inside.
Yeah, I think it's interesting too. He brought back John Kerry, who John Kerry must have something on all the Democratic presidents, because he keeps a job. They're like, bring him back, And don't get me wrong, I don't dislike John Kerry, but it's like, dude, he's gonna be there. I mean, if you or I were in the White House, I mean, we have to pick him too. Was there something?
It's in the bylaws. Oh, I didn't realize this is part of the Democratic Party bylaws.
First things first, y'all know you got to pick John Kerry, but why? Don't question it. Just do it. And whatnot. But actually, I think the position he's in is good because he's going to be dealing with climate change. That's an issue to be taken seriously. Something that the Trump administration never did and absolutely refused to do. We have the first woman in national security, Latinx in Homeland Security. So he's living up to what he said he would do in terms of diversity. And to me, this is the beginning of 2024, even this early, because everything you do is going to be looked at. 2024 will be here before we know it. Trump 2016 to 2020 felt like an eternity, but when it's going well, it's going to go by in a flash.
I mean, 8 years of Obama, right?
Right, went by real quick. And so this guy, Trump, talking about running again in 2024, nobody wants that. And so I think that these are everything that happens now is preparation for 20. So people can see this is what we did. This is actually what happened. And I mean, I doubt Biden will run again. He probably shouldn't. But we have to get Kamala ready. And so everything that happens has to be that way. Now, the Senate seat in your state, California, who will they have to be a special election for that, or just be an appointment to finish the term? How does that?
It would be appointed to finish.
Okay.
No, not the term, because she still has 4 years left. So it would be 2 years and then a special.
2 years.
I believe, I could be wrong. But I actually think there's a real good chance at this point that Governor Gavin Newsom might actually have 2 appointments to make, because Dianne Feinstein just surrendered her chairmanship of Judiciary, and which was good because she was under intense pressure. And I'm not sure why she would stick around. I mean, she's pretty old, and it really is time. She should not have run for re-election. It's time for a generational change in that seat. Somebody who better represents Northern California. She had her heyday, and it's not now. So there's a good chance. And who could it be? Oh my God, it's California, right? There's 2,000 amazing Democrat. The bench is so deep. It's so deep that I actually, if I'm Gavin Newsom, I actually want both those seats, because that way you can. People are going to be pissed, right? No matter who you pick, it could be a Latina, and then the Black community or the gay community is pissed, right? Because we have, California is so rich and diverse. So there's going to be a lot of pressure to maintain that diversity, particularly with Kamala Harris being the person who's exiting, right? And she's one of our only 2 Black Democrats in the Senate. So definitely that, but it's also a state that is plurality Latino, right? And there should be Latino representation. So it's going to be tough for Gavin, and he'll be in a lot better shape if he gets 2. And I think the country in general would be in a lot better shape. I mean, like I said, there's so many great Democrats here. Having somebody who's a strident progressive instead of Dianne Feinstein would be a huge upgrade to the Democratic caucus in the Senate.
Yeah, you're right. No, because Dianne, and it's funny, it's the little things that take you out, aren't they? She's hugging Lindsey. I mean, and if people have known for a while, come on, Dianne.
Not just hugging Lindsey, but then saying that was one of the best hearings she had ever been part of. When Barrett said nothing.
Right.
Refused to answer all questions.
Right. And then you rarely hear Chuck Schumer imply publicly that he's admonished a member of his caucus. But he said that. He said he had a real long talk with Dianne. And I've never heard him say anything like that. So, yeah, I think that was...
I mean, that's quite a step. It was bad. I mean, he undermined. I mean, it wouldn't have made a difference. I think Jamie Harrison loses anyway, but it wasn't helpful. I mean, she was just totally clueless to the politics of it, to the policy of it. to everything.
Just completely out of touch. But I've seen it, man. People, even Democrats, they get in those buildings and they get in that fishbowl on Capitol Hill, and they forget who they are. They assimilate into the institution, just like prisoners. They become institutionalized, and I've seen it. And the longer you stay, I've seen some very prominent, even African American Democrats. Well, this is how we do things. See, I'm like, what are you talking about? This is not your home. You're too comfortable